It's time to go where summer leads you during the season of discovery at Team Mazda. Transcend ordinary in the Mazda CX-5 or experience the next level of luxury in the all-new Mazda CX-90. Come by today and discover Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to 9 News Now.
Welcome to it, everybody. Now you want to watch Liz Cosby.
I don't know about that.
You know, right?
I'd add more to the chaos. I'm good. I missed y'all.
Thank you. Well, trust me, we absolutely missed you. Nothing but chaos around here. So yeah, we tried to kind of step you through a little bit. If you missed the morning show, first of all, what's up? I mean, come on. Is it the battery's out on the alarm?
Right.
But this kind of little condensed version of everything. Could we condense this a little bit more? Probably not. It's still going to get to work on us.
We're approaching those triple-digit
temperatures
we're getting there again, which let's be honest, we're from here, right? We're getting used to the heat, but listen, this streak of heat and temperatures, it's been hot, Jared.
About that, guys, but you know what, it's not just for us. It's really a big part of the nation is dealing with a very brutal hot summer. Out your door right now, beautiful sunrise, Our Lady of the Lake Sky 9 looking live, 76, but it feels exactly the same way. So relatively decent humidities and dew points means there's no heat advisory in effect for today. Made it up to 98 yesterday. Think we're going to do it again for today. Record 99 set all the way back in 1907. Climbing the staircase the next couple of days. So no heat advisory today. Probably not tomorrow either, but I wouldn't be surprised if come this weekend and early next week if that actually changes a little bit. All the flickers of green on your screen not hitting the ground. Even when we zoom out a little bit, we don't see that much more than that, and rain chances are going to be few and far between over the next couple of days. Kick it to the future cast. The graph is going to show a couple of isolated showers just kind of traversing the area in the afternoon. I would say the majority of the viewing area stays completely dry for today. Anything that you get will be light and brief. Same thing for tomorrow. This is Friday afternoon, and we barely see anything over there. I would say the next several days, 20% is probably the best and biggest chance that we have. High pressure, dry and stable conditions, but then we start to moisten up the atmosphere over the next few days, but it doesn't really translate to that much in the rain gauges as high pressure still controls a very big part of the pattern. I would say there's really no significant rain chance between now through the next 7 days, and that's evidenced here. WPC thinks we're going to get less than 1/4 of an inch, barely anything measurable, and that's all 7 days added up and put together. Now let's take you out to the tropics. For the most part, we're relatively quiet, but we do have a wave out there. It's not yet an invest, so we don't have the spaghetti plots or anything like that. But what you do see here, the sea surface temperatures, which by the way are extremely warm, even warmer than some of the numbers represented here. They say there are parts of the South Florida coast right now that have sea surface temperatures in the mid 90s, in some cases upper 90s. That's incredible. Meantime, here's a look at that wave. It's got about a 40% medium chance of developing over the next 7 days. If it does get a name, the next one up, that would be the East Storm for Emily. But I really do think the African dust over the next few days is going to help to prevent or preclude that from developing. So it's going to help us out. But remember, the African dust tends to kind of relinquish itself in the month of August. So we're not going to have too much more time to get assisted by that. Forecast for today, mostly sunny, mainly dry across the viewing area with a high temperature of 98 degrees. Then for the evening forecast, not so cool. We're still going to be in the mid 80s before midnight and the overnight low at about 76 degrees. Weekend forecast is looking mainly on the dry side, but very hot. 99 Saturday, 100 on Sunday, and on Sunday afternoon right now, I've got a 20% chance. Again, the majority of the viewing area stays dry. Definitely take all the precautions that are necessary, and we've got several triple digits going forward over the next 10 days. Right now, the biggest rain chance that I have, not even that big, that would be 40% at the very tail end of the 10-day. But again, the good news, if I can give some positive spin on it, is that the tropics relatively quiet, and over the next 7 to 10 days, there are no threats here in the Gulf. So let's kind of keep that going if we can. Meantime, it's about 7:07 out your door. Johnny A., how are the roads cooperating?
So far, so good. Getting a little slower coming in from Denham, but that's to be expected here in the 7 o'clock hour. Here's I-10 at the 1012 merge where the two interstates come together going toward the downtown area. A little slow from right past Perkins to right past Louise Street as you you make your way toward the downtown area. That's a live shot from DOTD's Traffic Watch camera over the City Park Lakes, right near Dalrymple. And then the bridge traffic has slowed down coming in from the west on 10 East, mainly at the 10-110 merge. And you can kind of see that right here as you come in from Port Allen over the bridge. And then there's our normal traffic coming in from Denham Springs. You're fine until you get right past the Amite River, and then you get a little slow traffic between O'Neill and Millerville, and then again at the 1012. Glancing at I-10 right before the Belterre exit in Laplace, all of that's clean now. The drive time completely almost back to normal, 59 to 62, 63. That's a normal drive time if you're heading out toward New Orleans. Had a several mile backup right before you get into Laplace earlier this morning, and all of that is due to a wreck. All of that is wide open and clear. 7:08, we do it for you every single morning. We capsule our morning headlines in a little brief form, and we do it from Studio B. Matt and Liz, good morning to you.
Johnny, good morning to you. So let's start off with the big national headline here. The Federal Reserve raising interest rates for the 11th time now, the largest in what, 22 years?
Yeah, so when you combine it over all the last year and a half, we now have the highest interest rates we have had in better than two decades, 22 years in fact. So to Liz's point, the 11th raise of those interest rates since March of what, 2022?
Yeah.
Another quarter point, which is what they assumed, which is what a lot of folks thought they were going to do. Another raise in interest rates could be coming next month as well. So clearly the Fed's saying we're not quite where we want to be according to them and their numbers when it comes to inflation. You know, we ran a story this morning, Liz. I thought it was interesting. You can take a walk around your local grocery store and see the impact on some of this. A lot of the fresh fruits, like they got to get them sold now kind of stuff, you see the prices coming down.
Yes.
It pays to eat fresh if you can find it. A lot of the processed stuff, that's still up there.
Yeah, and the goal here, obviously, to reduce a recession here, right? And so we're not at that point quite yet. And so that's why we could be seeing that other interest rate coming next month. But this is hurting a lot of Americans already, right? Credit card payments, loan payments, mortgages, all of that going up with this increase. So you got to pinch your pennies here as we continue to move forward and see how this impacts more of us.
We were talking about this yesterday morning, a deadly shooting downtown Baton Rouge along the levee, but Liz, BRPD saying they've already made an arrest.
Yeah, 23-year-old Javori here. This is actually an arrest that they made within the last 24 hours. Javori Springer here arrested and charged with second-degree murder and obstruction of justice charge, I believe. The victim here, 19-year-old Malik Clark. So everyone involved in this investigation, including the people he was last seen with along the levee before he died, all actively participating in the investigation here with BRPD officers. But apparently there was some kind of altercation that happened there involving an ex-boyfriend. And so police officers are still working to figure out exactly what led up to Malik Clark dying there.
So we'll keep you updated. Again, that investigation pushing forward. Investigation going on right now. This is Tangipahoa Parish, Hammond part of the world. They're Crime Stoppers, which is kind of separate from the Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers, still very effective. They're looking for apparently some ATV thieves, and they got some video.
Clear video of it. In fact, the Chevy Silverado they're looking for with a different colored tailgate. Well, it was actually seen stealing an ATV there off of, I believe, Yellow Water Road. And so if you have this description in mind, right? A Chevy Silverado with paint chipping off of the hood with a different colored tailgate carrying an ATV, that should
ring the bell.
Sing off some flags.
Yeah, make that phone call. Hey, this is coming up. BRPD self-defense class, right? The equalizer stuff. Okay, here's the thing. They are ridiculously popular, so you probably want to sign up for this. 4
different dates, and they're taking those applications right now. So you want to head to this story on the 9 News app. Go ahead and apply, because as Matt mentioned, they do fill up quite fast.
So fast. Speaking of BRPD, have you ever wanted to maybe kind of meet the crew, know what's going on, maybe interested in working over there?
You can do all of those things tonight during a BRPD meet and greet happening at BRPD headquarters from 6 to 7:30. Head on over that way to get your questions answered and maybe inquire about a new job.
No kid. Could be that new path for you. Okay, something else going on today as well. Salvation Army giving away food boxes. They do this very often. They're back at it again.
Monthly food giveaway. So if you want to check that out, go to their headquarters on Airline Highway. At 10 a.m., they need you to show up with a valid ID and some kind of proof of residency to get that food box. Also, something happening today over at the state capitol. If you're interested in the Comite River Diversion Project, today leaders are expected to share some progress reports.
Who isn't?
A lot of people obviously want to know what these flood mitigation efforts are are at right now. At 10 a.m., they're gathering for that update for state lawmakers to hear where they're at.
Been a long time with this one, Liz, and of course we've heard updates from our Congressman Garrett Graves in particular saying, look, this has been delayed, but the money's there. A long time coming. This has been decades in the making.
Yes.
Everybody wants to know where it is and what the future holds. That's going to be a big and well-attended meeting, 10 o'clock. We'll let you know what happens. Hey, that's a pretty shot of the state capitol right there. But as you kind of focus in on a couple parts of it, where to put a new community center, it's going to be kind of located where? Between North Baton Rouge, Mid-City?
Yeah, for all the people who live within that kind of area too. That's District 6 for those of you who live in the area. And so if you're wondering, well, what do we need one for? This is great for senior citizens, right? For them to spend some time there, or people who may need some temporary housing, kids in the community who may need some programming as well. So leaders want your input on where you think it should go. There's a meeting tonight happening at Northdale Alternative Magnet High School from, I believe, 6 to 7:30. They want you to come out to that meeting to share some of that input of where you think it should go. You
know where Cletus Drive is? Hey, Cletus! That's exactly. What's up, Cletus? That's where you need to go. Again, get out there and just have a conversation. We'll enjoy the input here. All right, here we go. Speaking of input, I could use all I could get, some help, some good positive thoughts. It's about to be back to school. I think we've got the kids ready to go. But one of the things you need is vaccinations.
So before we even get to that first day of school, take these next couple of weeks here to kind of align everything together. So that means supplies, that means a summer reading, that means getting your kids up to date on their vaccines for the school year, because the state of Louisiana has that required list of vaccines. Callie Hubbard actually has that information on the story from the Louisiana Department of Health. If you'd like to see that, schedule those appointments to get that taken care of. Visit her story today.
Speaking of seeing it, did you see this? World Cup still going on. Down under, Australia and New Zealand. Team USA won their first game against Vietnam, taking on the Netherlands. Last night, both teams actually won their first game. They went to a draw, 1-1 tie.
How about it? Netherlands making that first goal.
Scoring the first goal.
And then U.S. tying it up there, end up in the draw. The next game for U.S. is Portugal on August 1st?
It's going to be, Tuesday, early Tuesday our time. It's like 2 o'clock our time, right? So, a little time in between. Guys, you watching the World Cup down under?
Not me.
Yeah, I think we both looked at each other.
Not me.
No, not me.
Come on.
As far as soccer is concerned, though, everything in Miami with Messi has been incredible. He looks like a man playing in a league of boys.
Oh, it's another game. I think we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? That it's a nice paycheck for him, and he's just enjoying playing the game. But yeah, you're right. He looks like he's running at another speed.
Now I am watching Below Deck Australia. If that's
that counts.
I guess that counts. Yeah,
it's a good show.
A lot of people interested in that. I'm sure a lot of fodder for gossip too. Water cooler talk. Speaking of, we're going to gather at the water cooler. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
You could be driving smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just 2 reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 best trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.